From the hills of Volente, Texas, planet Earth, galaxy Milky Way, from the distinct coordinates heretofore known as the live streaming capital of the known universe, this is Purple Bee TV. We're a live concert production studio bringing the live room to your living room, presenting interactive live music experiences, embracing the moment, the dirt, and the beauty, always connecting to your heart and your booty. This interactive live stream is powered by your donations, which go directly to supporting the artists and the crew. And they activate our interactive games, the Wheel of Jam and the Polish Plinko. Keep an eye out for that donation link at the bottom of your screen, popping up soon, purplebee.org/donate. Thank you so much for the support. Tonight, Purple Bee TV presents Purple Bee Live episode 116 with Money Chicha. That's right. Tonight's sponsors brought to you by Real Ale. Oh, excuse me, this is the crew lineup brought to you by Real Ale. Got Grego on sound. Yes. Curators Dustin, Evan, Bozart, Nikki Christick on direction. Tyler Deutsch is your host. Cameras, Ram Carrington and Nolan Calicod. That's the crew. Oh, don't forget about Aaron Stein on the bartending. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the Show Me Pizza band lineup. Greg Gonzalez on bass. Beto Martinez on guitar, John Spees on drums, Sweet Lou Holmes on percussion, and Peter Stopchinski on keyboards. We're going to get to them later. We're going to get to our host here, Tyler Deutsch.
That's right, man. Ebos, you're amazing. Always doing great. You know it's going to be a good night if he's got the gray sweatsuit on, and Ebos does. And don't worry, you could be above average. You could be excelling with us. If you got $50 to donate or more, we got Polish Plinko prizes, Money Chicha in the house tonight. They're ready to embrace the Purple Bee experience. It's been a while. If this is your first time tuning in, or if this is your first time experiencing Purple Bee Live, it's going to be a good one. And without further ado, what do you say we get to the music? Grego, are you over there, Warsaw Warbler?
Totally
tuning in? How we feeling?
Feeling nice, man. Controlling the crew over here, listening crew. They're going to let me know what's happening. So honored to have this band here tonight. You know, very exciting. Soundcheck was kicking. Yeah, like you said, great night in front of you. Thank you for watching Purple Bee. We appreciate it. T.
G. I've been waiting for this moment all night, man. Ebos, this has been a long anticipated show. What a great opportunity to listen to some badass cumbia. We got a lot of people in the house. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. As you know, the Red Channel, Red Zone, Live Room, that's what the headphones go to. Ebos, tell me your thoughts.
Man, well, we've been boning up on our Chicha history the last couple days. I think we know enough to be dangerous, enough to hopefully ask you guys some questions about what you're doing up there and have it be relevant. But without further ado, I'm going to get into it. Can I get into it?
Get into it.
I'm going to get into it. This band is a modern translation of a South American musical style interpreted by highly skilled veterans of America's most vibrant music town. That's right, Austin, Texas is what I'm talking about. They're bringing Lima, Peru to your living room. In their capable hands, the Chicha genre takes on a new and unique character, guaranteed to move one to both dance and to listen, entranced by the undeniable rhythms and the virtuosic displays of musicality. I'm talking about Money Chicha. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Less bass. Less.
And
drum world.
the drummer needs less bass. Everybody. More, more
Why are you
bass for
talking
the
with
audience.
that NPR voice, Greg?
I know, it's weird. I'm like used to talking to a crowd on the microphone, and in this case, I hear it right in my ear, and I feel like I should whisper.
It's nice. It's very podcasty. It sounds good.
Yes.
NPR is a perfect way to put it.
Sipping tea with Steve.
I could try all my different voices. I'll do my Batman voice.
I like that one. That's got a new Plinko option.
Batman voice. This next one is called Cumbia Árabe.
You rarely go to a place. This organ's a Farfisa organ they made in the late 60s, early 70s, and I have one, and it broke when we showed up here. And you rarely go to a place where they have one, another one that you can use. So thank you, Purple Bee.
Anytime. You're doing the thing justice.
All right. Well, this next song is called Fuentes. Thank you all very much. That song is called Fuentes.
Classically loose affairs over there, Peter. I think John coined your solo album today. You better record it on that, you know, because you put it to good use.
Classically Lucifer. That's right.
Man, tell us a little bit about the Chicha sound and how you guys developed it. I'm sure, you know, Beto, Greg, anybody, and let us know your insight of how you had. It's different from a lot of the other stuff you played because you guys are no stranger to a lot of different genres of music, very credited in a lot of different, you know, groups and stuff like that. So tell me how you guys landed on this.
So we first became aware, I think, of this style and sort of movement of Peruvian cumbia, Amazonica, I don't know, sometime in the mid-aughts by some records that a good friend of ours, a producer, Toy Hernandez, brought from Peru. And we met up with him over South by, and he played us these records. And I remember myself and Greg and Adrian, we were taken by all of the guitar work. And we've been in a band called Grupo Fantasma for going on 25 years now. And that band is very like horn driven. The guitars often, I wouldn't say took a back seat, but a lot of the melody and stuff is driven by the horns, right? So that stuck with us, and we started to write some songs in that vein where things were more guitar driven. And eventually in 2010, someone sent an email where we were discussing both Money and Chicha. And that was the subject of the email. It was Money Chicha. And we were talking about this band, about putting together this smaller band without horns, where it would just be guitars, really like up front. And our influence, our inspiration for it was this music, this chicha or cumbia amazonica. So we kind of modeled the original incarnation of the band on that music and did a lot of those covers when we started. But eventually started writing our own stuff in that vein, and it's kind of evolved over the years, over 10 years now, or actually 14 years that we've been Money Chicha. And it's turned into kind of our own thing, but influenced by and obviously paying homage to the original stuff from Peru, but because we love that stuff, you know.
It's amazing. We're a little piece of everything we've ever known, you know?
It's true.
We can't wait to hear more of that sweet, trippy, psychedelic chicha sound. Money Chicha, thank you everyone who's donated so far.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Anonymous.
You got Yota and Andre, Vamos las del Grupo. Michael Martinez, this band is so money. I'd have to agree.
Thank you all out there in internet land and here in IRL. This next song is called Nautilus. It's dedicated to all the sailors out there.
like groove train, man. It is unreal. Money Chicha. How does it sound on your end, G? It sounds money.
So much.
There were so many amazing like chops and loops in there. Like
so
I
many
could just
chichas, man.
so many like chachis and chichas in my that I could just imagine loaded up into my MPC. Like the guitar. I mean, it's kind of unreal. It's how do you guys orchestrate that?
Loop that, D.
No, I like can already hear it in my head. I'm not gonna do it vocally because I'll just sound like an idiot. But the guitar that I heard and just the bass is so deep and it's so grimy, but it's so like groovy and it's like it's punchy. It's really something unique that you guys have done, and it's crazy because you've played with so many like just amazing bands and amazing groups, and you get to wear this amazing badge of Austin. You know, as being like an Austin band, you guys are Texas locals yourselves, and that's great, man. I mean, Austin sports team is its music, and shit, I'd be curious to know from your guys' perspective what you guys would describe as the Austin music experience. Greg, maybe? Yeah, he's got something brewing.
I don't even know where to begin, brother. I know how to talk about our music. The Austin music is deep. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on there. And it's just deepened and gotten more diverse over the years. You know, when we first started playing, you know, on 6th Street, at least Beto and myself, you know, we both moved here in 96 or 97. And we would go down to 6th Street, and it was like Stevie Ray Vaughan cover band after Stevie Ray Vaughan cover band, and then like a folk singer. And that was it. Like everybody sounded like that. And we were coming from the border. We were like, man, we missed this, you know, cumbia music. We missed this stuff we used to go across and listen to. So we wanted to play that with our own vibe, you know, just, you know, growing up on this side of the border, listening to hip hop and psychedelic rock and, you know, Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and, you know, the Beastie Boys and all kinds of grunge stuff or whatever we were into at the time. So we wanted to combine all of that together, and we started playing that. And, you know, obviously there was an appetite for that, an untapped market, if you will. People were like, finally, somebody who doesn't sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Finally, somebody whose guitar has effects. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But that takes that takes some confidence, you know, to be able to do that in a town that, you know, that is almost secretly dying to hear that. So in Austin now, it's almost like it's a little bit, it's too much like music going on for some people. Like that they'll still go listen to a DJ. They're like, there's just so many options. They're almost spoiled with the genres. And it's like you guys, I mean, Brownout backed for some of like the most amazing hip hop acts in the last, you know, 2 decades. What was it like to be able to, like I said, you know, be from Austin and be able to work with people like Jizza and like, you know, so many amazing hip hop acts and be able to back for those people?
Well, I mean, that was a dream come true too. You know, it's a little bit, you know, there's different sides of your personality growing up, and as musicians, you listen to all kinds of people, all kinds of music that inspires you. You know, I was a big hip hop head coming up. I listened to the Wu-Tang Clan a lot. So when the Jizza called, I was like, I know these songs already. Let's do this, you know? But I mean, that's part of all of us. You know, we all grew up listening to that music, but also listening to Latin music, but also listening to just weird stuff. So, you know, it's been a blessing to get opportunities to express those different sides of our personalities with hip hop artists, with great funk artists like, you know, Prince or Maceo Parker, cats we've gotten been blessed enough to play with in the past. Get to play with Bernie Worrell, you know. Yeah, it's a great Parliament Funkadelic. As well as like tremendous Latin artists like Larry Harlow of the Fania All-Stars, or Jose Carvalho, one of the originators of the Peruvian Chicha sound. So, you know, it's just, I don't know any other way to put it except that it's really a blessing, and to feel fortunate that we were able to work with all these people. And also, you know, we feel, I mean, you say we must have been confident, but I think more than anything, we just didn't know. You know, it's like that Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, I didn't know I couldn't do that. You know, we're like, we didn't know we couldn't go downtown and play cumbia music without congas at the time and with electric guitars and psychedelic effects. You know, that's just how we did things, you know, and people were like, finally, this is what I wanted to hear. So, you know, we were fortunate, you know, to be at the right place at the right time. you know, and we're lucky to still be out here working and evolving, just like the city. You know, there's all these different styles of music now you're talking about. You know, we continue to evolve and play different styles and learn new stuff. I mean, this is our newest band, and it's, what, 12 years old?
14.
14 years old. Yeah, it's gonna be driving next thing you know.
Serial.
Only getting
serial
better.
band monogamists.
Serial fan.
I just stayed on that comment that music is Austin's sports team, so that means that we're all jocks.
You guys are the dream team of Cumbia, you know, and I think that's quite the honor. I've dubbed that tonight. You know, we've had some acts here. Superphonico is going to be in my phone later. Like, what the fuck, man? I heard what you said. You know, Como Lost Movies. But it's amazing because we get to have so much amazing music straight from Austin here at Purple Bee. We appreciate you guys for being here. And Brandy Amstel dropping that 50 spot on Venmo. That's right. You know what that means. That's worth one what? Polish Plinko chip. That's right. Are you here, Brandy? You in the crowd tonight? Come on over to the video control room if you want to drop your own Plinko chip. And if you like to support amazing music curated here in Austin, Texas, brought to you from Volente, well, you know where to go. purplebee.org/donate. And donate. You can have your chance at the Plinko. It's right here. Ebos, I was holding it hostage. No biggie. But thank you, everybody who's donated so far. Hillary as well with that 25 spot. We have so many people in the chat tonight that are loving it. I'm sure they want to hear some more amazing music. But don't worry, the Plinko, you guys you were down with it today. You were like, I was like, hey, like, you know, Plinko, what do you think? And you're like, whatever, man. Like, just slow jam, fast jam, improv. They were like feeling it. They were ready to walk into Wildwood, Texas tonight, but they walked into Volente. And so, Ebos, you dropping it? Yeah, dropping it for Brandy. Brandy, this one's for you, girl. Da, 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 da. Where's it goes? No one knows. Oh, that's right. This is a Money Chicha curated Plinko. Make it weird. Yeah.
It's a little early for that.
It's a little early for that.
It's our. Yeah, does that mean make it weird right now? Or?
Make it weird right now. That's right.
All right.
All right.
We can get to that one.
Weird it is. I mean, are you out there in IRL or internet land?
Right here.
Okay, so on a scale from 1 to 5, how weird do you want this? 5 is max weird. All right.
She's not afraid.
Dang.
Money Chicha.
Weird enough?
Giving us lessons on how to make it weird. Turning the weird up to 5. Thank you so much, Brandy. In the midst of that, the weirdness, we actually got 2 other $50 donations. Thank you very much to Paul Drown, Alice Gidley, and then Carla as well gave us a 25 spot on the Venmo. Thank you guys so much. Look at us. We're just stacking up here. How you guys feeling out there, team?
y'all.
You know?
Love y'all.
So good, so good.
Y'all.
Need a Money Chicha jersey now. You got me thinking about that. I'm brainstorming.
Yeah, you know, with all these thank yous going around, I'd like to thank Purple Bee, and I'd like to say that I'm really proud of you guys. How badass this is. You know, we did one in the other spots. This is our first time here to the new spot. This is amazing, man. You guys should be super proud. This is incredible. Super pro, super amazing.
Yes, sir. Thanks, everybody.
Grego back there.
Much appreciated.
All you guys, thank you.
Thank you guys for taking the space and doing what it was meant for. And what do you say we get a Plinko going for Paul? And we also got a $50 Jewel Tones, digging the chicha. It was broken there. I'm like, digging the sea what? Sea hicha? You know, we'll play with that later. But when we run out of Plinko options. But Paul, if you're in the house, speak now or forever hold your peace. We'll get this Plinko rolling. Give these guys the old twofer, you know, the double header.
Is Paul in here? We got a Paul.
Is that Paul Drown?
It was, let's see, it was, Paul Drown.
Man, that guy's super cool. He's not here. I don't see him here, but he's a super cool guy.
Well, then we'll drop it for Paul. He's probably shaking it in his living room right now. Mecha Cat saying her hips are unable to stop moving from the musica at home.
Meow,
so
meow.
Appreciate y'all. What do we say we get that drum roll rolling here? Where the Plinko goes, no one knows. Oh my gosh, guest list to 420 Cumbia Fest. Does Paul live in the area? Is he going to be able to make it as a guest list? Oh, amazing. Tell us about that show. What can we expect from that one? It's going to get real trippy there on the 420 show?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
super serious. It's actually a convention on a library.
It's a DA convention.
Yeah, that's right.
District attorneys. No, actually, it's a cumbia festival at Hotel Vegas. We're going to be playing also Combo Oscuro and a whole bunch of other cumbia bands whose names escape me at the moment. But I know it's like a all-day, 8-hour cumbia fest. So yeah, 420 for you.
No better way to spend it, and so that's what you can get when you donate. What do you say, Alice Gidley? Are you here? We might as well knock this 50 out of the way. Are you, Alice? Paging Alice. Not here. No worries.
Not here, says the man with the blue headphones.
Says the man with the blue headphones. Hell yeah. You know that's a real soldier right there. He's listening to Director Channel. That's a wild person right there. Keep an eye on that guy. But we're gonna drop this one for Alice. What do you say? Where it goes, no one knows. Peter plays classical.
The floor is yours, Stupczynski.
Classically Lucifer's little sneak preview right there. Amazing, Peter. You got kind of a classical last name. How do you pronounce it? Is it Stopshinsky? Is that correct?
Stopshinsky.
There's a lot of skis around here. If you've met Grego or Nikki or any of these people, you know, hence the Polish Blinko, you know.
He is also of Polish descent.
Perfect. Yeah, you know, they love skiing in Poland. The what is it? The long jump skiing. That's like the only, you know, if you didn't think there was a lot of sports teams in Austin, just wait until you go to Poland. They got ski jumping. That's about it. Soup. No, I'm just kidding. We love Poland.
Soup.
That one made me. That took me back in time to the ye old time. What Money Chicha? Let me take the temp right now. How you guys feeling?
So good.
Feeling good. Feeling great.
Yeah.
What do you got in store for us? I'm curious. You guys have, like you said, 14 years old, been working on a lot of stuff, and you've talked about we were talking a little bit about your progression earlier and how you guys are starting to really enjoy the sound that you've kind of curated after so long of playing with each other. So what's kind of the goal going forward for Money Chicha and the sound you're developing?
World domination first, but
wow.
yeah, no, we got the Sonic Guild grant last year, and we went to New Orleans and made a brand new record, and we've been mixing and overdubbing on that. We wanted to go somewhere out of town and catch the vibe, you know, eat a bunch of great New Orleans food, feel the rhythms, do the thing, and so yeah, we recorded it at Marigny a few months back, and we're in the process of finishing it up right now, and it's a damn good record, if I do say so myself. We'll play a few songs from it tonight. I don't think we have yet. No, we haven't yet. So, but second set, we'll throw down a couple of songs from that, and man, yeah, we are available. We're available for work. Holler.
Money Chicha for hire. Let's go. Cumbia for cash, you know, in exchange. I can't wait. So you guys gonna play some more for us before we take a quick set break, or we want to go into set break right now?
Let's do another one.
Yeah, we'll do one more, and then we can take a break.
Perfect.
Actually, let's play one from the new joint.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
We're playing one now.
You just wanted to prove John wrong, didn't
Right,
you?
exactly. They thought we had a plan for the second there, but no.
Yeah, let's do the fast one.
All righty then.
This one is called Ojos Rojos.
Ojos
A little sneak peek exclusive here tonight on a Thursday. Who could have thunk it? We did. That's right. We know what we're doing here at Purple Bee. We love it. And so does Money Chicha. They got set 2 of some more sick psychedelic cumbia grooves coming up for you in about 25 minutes. In the meantime, get yourself a nice drink from Real Ale. Get a carb up with some Show Me Pizza. And thank you for everybody who's donated so far. Jewel Tones, we'll get to your Plinko drop after this short set break. In the meantime, Grego is going to get some house grooves going for you. Stay tuned. Set 2.
Después de la tormenta sale el sol para brillar y darle vida al amor, pa' calentar al corazón, ay mamá, y espantar a todo el frío y el dolor. yo sanaré y fe tendré, poderoso seré. Siéntelo, créelo, vívelo, solo sé. Siéntelo, créelo, vívelo, solo sé. Fruto daré, no moriré, aprenderé, sobreviviré, perdonaré y amaré, despertaré, reverdeceré. Siéntelo, créelo, vívelo, solo sé. Siéntelo, créelo, vívelo, solo sé. Renaceré, renaceré, Dicen que yo soy loco, pero yo sé la verdad. Y que yo no sé nada porque canto en la oscuridad. Ando de fiesta en fiesta con mi gaita y mi mochila. Vengo buscando algo para quitarme esta pena. Pero yo sé una cosa, la plata no lo compra todo. Pero yo sé una cosa, no te compra la felicidad. que no puedo olvidar. Se fue pa'l río un día y nunca volvió más. Y por más que la busco solo encuentro lágrimas. Pero yo sé una cosa, la plata no lo compra todo. Pero yo sé una cosa, no te compra la felicidad. Pero yo sé una cosa, la plata no lo compra todo. Pero yo sé una cosa, no te compra la felicidad. Que yo soy loco, pero yo sé la verdad. Y que yo no sé nada porque canto en la oscuridad. Vengo de fiesta en fiesta con mi gaita y mi mochila. Ando buscando algo para quitarme esta pena. Pero yo sé una cosa, la plata no lo compra todo. Pero yo sé una cosa, no te compra la felicidad. Pero yo sé una cosa, la plata no lo compra todo. Pero yo sé una cosa, no te compra la felicidad. Mochila en el hombro, de amor y esperanza, es fácil decir adiós. Las murallas al frente, para dividir a la gente, que solo causan dolor y frustración. Vente,
Stay tuned.
Vete volando, vuela ya.
Right upon return, a $50 donation from Chicha Chong. Spice 2024. Got my vote. Unreal support today. We have a member of the crowd, Jewel Tones. If you want to make yourself present in the video control room, we can get your Plinko rolling to get set 2 coming off right. We did a lot of brainstorming. We got into the huddle, you know, mixed up the playbook a little bit here for set 2. What's going on? You ready to drop that Plinko? Oh, yeah. Tell the people at home how you're feeling tonight.
I'm feeling amazing, honestly. I love coming out here, especially because like I have the privilege to come out here because of my mom knowing Grego, and I'm very blessed to come out here. This is like absolutely one of my favorite places to come out to see music. It's just, it stimulates my musician mind, and I love it. So I love coming out here. I'm feeling great.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to see what you get for the Plinko. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for the consistent support from you and the entire fam. Let's get a drum roll going for Jewel Tones. Where the Plinko goes, no one knows. It's dropped. The choice has been made. Guest list 420 Cumbia Fest. Oh my gosh. That is the grand prize on our board tonight. This is going to be just an absolute amazing. Give me a little insight, I guess, on this next song. Give me something that you might hear at the Cumbia Fest. But congratulations on the ticket. Thank you for coming out to Purple Bee.
Whew. Well,
yeah.
There's a good chance you'll hear Cumbia.
A really good chance.
Really good chance. I don't think.
Odds are high.
Yeah, I think you could put a bet on it, and you would probably win if someone was stupid enough to take that bet.
This song was actually written by a Chicha legend. Greg, tell him the story. The one we're about to play was written by. We've been written for before by Jose Luis Carballo, who was one of the founders of Chacalón and Nueva Crema, and basically one of the people that invented a bunch of these melodies and guitar styles. We made a record that had traditional Chicha on the front side and stuff on the back side that was more the nuevo, our thing. So, but we had a great honor for another composer to write a song for us that's going to be on this record, and I just can't say his name well enough, so.
Pancho Acosta.
Oh, I could have said that.
That sounded like Babel or like Duolingo.
I could have totally said that. But anyway, what's really cool is that we've been sort of given the thumbs up, and gotten to collaborate with some of these people, because the way we do it is not entirely traditional, except for that we're reaching and we're playing rock and roll guitars and being very psychedelic. But the way we do it has a kick drum and probably a lot more bass, just in general, not bass playing, but bass sound. But anyway, yeah, enough with the rambling. Let's play this song.
Yeah, Pancho Acosta is a composer and guitar player. He plays with a group called Los Quintos and many other groups. And he has some pretty famous songs. This one, I don't know if it's famous, but we're going to make it famous right now. Yes! It's called Carnaval de Jujuy.
Money. Got the fog going, got the lights going. How's the crowd feeling in there right now? You guys feeling well acquainted with that chicha? I am. It's feeling great. And you know, speaking of chicha, Chicha Chong, $50. What do you say we get a drop in the Plinko for them?
Chicha Chong.
That's write that one down in the name of solo albums we're coming up with today. Where the Plinko goes, no one knows. I'll get a drop in for Chicha Chong. It's on this church pew that we got back here. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh. The Plinko drops. Couldn't gamble on this one. Oh. Oh, yes. Long awaited. Dab and jam. Yeah, that's my awful handwriting. Yeah, so we have quite the setup here for you. If you're not familiar, there's a hot sauce out there. If you've heard of a series called The Hot Ones and The Last Dab, you know, we had them test it out, you know, sign their waivers and everything before they agreed to do this. But I got some crackers right here too. I'll bring them out to the live room. Do you guys wanna do a last jam dab? You know, you guys can improv here. Look at this. Get a good shot of this. Yeah. prepare it properly.
Oh my God.
You got some drinks for them too?
Not many studios.
Oh my
Look
God.
at these guys.
Good luck.
We need something hot. We need something that'll make us sweat at the forehead a little bit for this next jam. I think after this one. We don't make it easy for our artists here at Purple Bee. We really make them step up to the test. Look at this. Look at this reaction. This live. Yeah, get that gimbal up in there, Ebos. Whew. Someone get John another ranch water.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Animalitos. This one's for you, Chicha Chung.
Now, out of all the countries and global amazing places your incredible music talents have brought you guys, have you ever been to a place where you've been hand-fed, hot sauce and then asked to jam afterwards? Has that ever been in your set list or
Hand-fed?
hand-fed,
I think that-
hand-curated?
I think-
Maybe it's
yeah,
a
I
better
think-
term.
Yeah, I feel like y'all really separated yourselves with that. Extra level of service.
Listen, man, the Instagram reels are tough, man.
Yeah.
Competition's tough. We gotta really come up with stuff.
That felt super clarifying to me on that song. It felt like the song was going in slow motion. I had to laugh because my tongue was on fire. But,
You guys handle that like champs. I mean, we usually when we do the dab challenge, we have there's one guy who will be like, yeah, it's me.
Nah.
But the whole band, that was impressive. Give it up, guys. I mean, come on, look at putting their taste buds on the line for your entertainment.
These border dudes don't fuck around with mild hot sauce, and if you're gonna be around them, you have to get that figured out.
Real quick.
Indeed.
Amazing stuff. And thank you everybody who's been donating so far and giving us the opportunity to have such amazing jams just like that. And you guys were mentioning some of that new you guys were creating, coming up with, curating in the lab. We got a little sneak peek heading into set break. Tell me a little bit more about that new project. What can we expect as far as sounds?
Cumbia.
Psychedelic sounds.
Are we gonna be able to hear more of those? Maybe a couple of the tracks that you guys have on that tonight.
Yeah, man, we could do another one, but only if you speak to us with that high-pitched voice all night long.
That was like my Stewie Griffin, like, yeah, he's an author. He'd write a lot of books.
Yeah. Sorry, the dab was good, and it has some hang time, so it's still the effects are still there.
The effects are still there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind another one. I mean, I don't want to be weird, but
You want another one?
Peter wants another one.
He wants this one on his eyes.
We got you. Don't worry. Our producers are on it right now.
Yeah, usually we pay people for dabs.
We're just giving them out.
I know, man. It's crazy. Okay, so this song doesn't have a title yet. Or it does have a title, but John doesn't like it.
Let's call it Cool Mom.
Cool Mom.
Anything.
I'm just wondering what that's about. Are they saying one of us is a cool mom, or was that just somebody said like cool
Lime
mom?
Creek Road?
I
Can you
bet they
please
meant to say
clarify your
mom.
cool mom comment?
never read the comments. That's where you get yourself in
Cool
trouble.
mom.
Cool mom. Yeah, I mean,
Our wives are cool moms.
some of them.
It was a dab. That was a little bit more of a slab. No. We haven't changed the hot sauce. It's the same.
I love a wheat thin, but that's weird with the hottest possible thing on it. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting.
Two different worlds. That's two different worlds.
We could have definitely done like a chip or tortilla or something, but we're keeping it different.
I think Lime Creek Road is trying to dodge the cool mom comment. They're like, here's a tip. I know. You can definitely buy our silence, sir or ma'am or road.
Or road.
Lime or creek. It could be any of these.
Wait. Oh, the plot thickens.
It's like a soap opera in the chat right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat instead of playing music.
hey,
Okay,
man,
for everybody out there who wants to hear music, this song, whatever you want to call it.
I think you're gonna have to go with Cool Mom Cumbia on that one. I think that's what you're gonna have to call it.
Cumbia de la Cool Mom.
There you go. Perfect. That was a jam. And thank you to our Boston viewer who donated $10. Appreciate you. Look at that. You know, even the people in here are enjoying it in Volente tonight, and then the people worldwide across the streamland are getting to enjoy it too. So thank you for showing your support and allowing us to be able to have badass musicians like these guys out here. How are you guys feeling after that hot sauce come down? I mean, minus, you know, Pat over there, but I think
my nose is running like a little bit.
A little bit. You guys, if you need, then let us know.
That's not your keyboard, bro. Don't get snot on it, please.
How is that? How is that treating you? By the way, is it doing all right?
It sounds amazing. I'm just so grateful to have something because these things are so weird and unreliable and personal. They're like dogs. Each one's totally got its own personality, even if it's the same model or whatever. It's crazy.
Amen, dude.
So I'm so glad this one's working and deciding to work and liking me. It's great.
And Peter, I mean, is this like the whole rig is kind of like is it a little new to you? I mean, it's definitely what you weren't expecting when you showed up here tonight, right?
I forgot my other keyboard, so this is one of their keyboards as well. I've never played it before. It's a Moog.
He's killing it.
That's our sponsorship drop right there, Moog. If you're listening,
He hadn't even had the hot sauce yet, and he forgot his keyboards.
that's how I know. Maybe he needed it to sharpen him up a little bit, but wake him up. But it's sounding good. It's amazing that you can just come in here and improvise with what we got. I'm glad that we were able to provide. So that's kind of what sets Purple Bee apart. But I want to hear some more music. You know, that's what I'm feeling. How are you guys feeling? I can't believe. Look at. I mean, we've reached nearly $1,000. Thank you, everybody who's donated so far and continues to. Like we said, this goes to all the donations go to the artists and crew. We just like to give them the space to do what they do best and play badass music. So, thank you for everybody who contributes and makes that happen. Money Chicha.
This next song is called Squeeze Box. Beto Martinez,
Man, the little alley oop. Yeah.
jazz master.
Seriously, like you were saying you try to make your guitar sound different. Well, let me tell you, you do a really good job. That Beto distinct, it's really distinct as far as the way that you just like play it throughout the entire medley that you guys did. That little break there too. It's like you had me on the edge of my seat. It was perfect, executed flawlessly. And interestingly enough, I'm curious. You guys were saying, you know, like obviously in this genre of music, it's really important that you guys play your part as far as like a band. You know, like it's everybody kind of has a role to play. And interestingly enough, you guys were like, now we do that. Listening back on your old stuff and how you guys have progressed, you've said that everyone kind of dynamically plays their part now. It's not as tight and just like, oh, we got to do this. It's you guys are kind of starting to spread out. What's it like being able to be with musicians, you know, in a group that allows you to do that as far as like spread your wings a little bit? Even though you're keeping this format, this routine of this groove, you guys really do kind of show yourself off a little bit in each thing.
This ensemble allows for that a lot, and everybody kind of gets to do their own thing and really take it to where they want to take it. But really, I've got to say that especially like with the melodic instruments up front, you know, the keys and the guitar, I really feel like we have this super solid bed to lie on with John Spees here and Mr. Sweet Lou Holmes, who hold it down like so hard. Like it's just comfortable, and I know that we can go wherever we want to go, and they're always going to be there. So.
And that's because me and Lou are married in 3 different bands, and we've been playing together now and speaking this dialogue. Or versions of it for a very long time through a bunch of teachers, master drummers, and just a whole bunch of study at first. And then now it's just like a wonderful conversation that we don't ever really think about. It's just like, I got bells, he's got bongos, congos, I got timbales. And we're just trying to work within this kind of format of like, you know, you've got an interval. That's what you've got is an interval, like, and you're trying to make something happen with it. And then when these guys are soloing, yeah, it's paramount that we just become one thing. And I feel like super lucky to get to become one thing with Lou because he's amazing, and we've had such a great time over the years getting to do it. But it's fun to launch soloists into outer space. That's like kind of our reason to play, I believe.
Yeah, and I feel lucky. I think we all feel lucky to have these guys behind us because that could be make or break in a lot of situations, and I think we got 2 of the best here. So.
And G always says it's the backbone of the groove, you know.
And Lou has great taste in hats.
No doubt about that.
Look at that.
They don't call him Sweet Lou for nothing. Sweet swag. Awesome.
What's up? We haven't played Virgins.
Sure. We're going to play a classic, Vírgenes del Sol, Virgins of the Sun.
That was dramatic ending. That was very like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Like whoosh. That was awesome. That was magnificent.
That's a classic jam.
That was
by
our
the great
arrangement
guitarist.
of a very classic jam.
Classic Siberian jam.
That was our Trans-Siberian arrangement.
Ebos gave me a no head nod when on the gimbal over there. I could just see his blue headphones shaking back and forth. He's like, I made it all night. I made the set too without saying anything too stupid. But you know, there's my one. You know, these guys are off the dabs anyways. You know, they're playing, they're feeling it. I'm excited to see what you got in line for us. What you want to showcase to the people in the world, to the metaverse.
What's next?
Well,
Show them that thing.
that thing.
You know.
Yeah, show us the thing.
Is this an all ages show?
Probably after hours.
Right. Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we're getting up against it here, right? I mean, or how's that work?
I don't think they have cops out here, you know, because this is basically like a forest preserve, so there's no curfew or anything. But you know, and as long as you guys can play, you know, there's no limit here. This ain't no venue. We're in the sticks, you know. This is hill country time.
All right. I just want to make sure we're saving our best.
Well, dang.
Yeah, no, keep it rocking.
Keep a couple aces in the pocket, you know. Well, then in this case, in that case, and in all cases, we're gonna do Esclavo.
You can't spell spice without spice. Odele JB in the chat. That's the bar of the night. That's a good one. Wow, that was a great ballad. I like that one. What was it? What was that one for? What was it? I mean, the name, not for. It was for us. Thanks. But
that one's called Lamento en la Selva. It's a classic.
It's interesting. You know, this is a genre of music that the core fan base is. They're definitely super dedicated. I was checking out your guys' YouTube and like on your your live performances and stuff. Like people in Peru were commenting. They're like, you guys are doing, you know, you're doing Chicha justice. Like you're doing and like they were very, very receptive and they loved Money Chicha. I mean, like, how does it feel to be able to be kind of like well respected in a territory where it's almost expanding as far as like there's people here tonight who may be hearing it for the first time?
Oh, we got haters, man, for sure.
Oh, man. you ain't doing something right if you ain't got a couple haters.
We got some haters.
I got my fair share, you know.
Nah, I mean, like I said earlier, we've been privileged to kind of get the blessing a few times. I mean, that's the same thing as playing hip-hop with Jizza or playing funk with Bernie or Prince, and the fact that they don't storm out the room and say, get these fuckers out of here, you know, is is a great victory in itself. But we've been, you know, we love the music. That's the bottom line is we love the music. We listen to it all the damn time in our spare time. And when we're in the van driving, we're listening to tons of it. And hopefully that just comes through. And I think people that are on the reel about music in general hopefully can look past the non-traditional type of approach we take because we're trying to be Money Chicha from Austin, Texas, you know, not Afro sound from Peru in the 60s. We're actually trying to be now. But we wanted to pay the proper homage, you know, to the pioneers because all music is like that, and yeah, so that's what it feels like.
And it translates. It really does. It's very authentic, the sound, and it's unique. Like you said, modern. I think is a great way to put it. It's the way that you're taking this you know, sound and turning it into your own and making it Austin, Texas, and Money Chicha itself. I just want to hear more of it. Keep it rolling.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Feels darn good.
Yeah, I agree with everything that was just said.
Great.
My name is Greg Gonzalez, and I endorse this.
You also said Chicha Justice, and I thought that'd be a cool show to be on.
Another cool name.
Chicha Justice.
Yeah,
Chicha Justice.
we're writing these down. Don't worry.
It sounds like a wrestler, like Chicha Justice.
Listen, brothers, don't make me bring that Chicha Justice.
Laying
Well.
down the Chicha Justice. All right, go ahead.
Well, I think we'll probably do one more song here. And before I do that, I'm going to introduce everybody, for those of you who just tuned in or weren't paying attention. We got to my left over here, Peter Stopczynski. Peter Fingers Stopczynski, master of the keyboards. To my right, Beto Martinez, the jazz master. Behind him, Matthew Sweetlou Holmes, Sweet Swag.
The power.
Behind me, John No Nickname Spice. No, he's Spice.
I guess Spice is probably as close to a nickname as you're getting.
On the timbales / drum set. And I'm Greg Gonzalez. On my bass here, we're Money Chicha. Don't let autocorrect fool you. It's Chicha, not Chica. People are always being like, oh my God, I love Money Chica. No, you don't. If you loved us, you would say it right. Okay? Okay? And this next song is the title song from our first album. It's called Echo en Mexico.
gentlemen, give it up one more time for Money Chicha.
Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely stellar stuff here tonight at Purple Bee. We couldn't expect anything less from Purple Bee Live 116. If you want to go see them, they're going to be at Hotel Vegas Saturday, April 20th for the first annual Cumbia-delic Fest at Hotel Vegas on 420. You know, so if you don't have any plans and if you haven't gotten too stoned and forgot to, make plans, don't worry. You got time because in April they'll be there. And make sure you check out some of their music. They had an album last year that had dropped, and it is hot off the press. Check them out on Bandcamp, YouTube. Anywhere else specifically, guys? People could check you out if they want to listen to more Money Chicha? All over the place, all the
We're
platforms.
on all the streamers.
Bandcamp, we have a
mine
live
was muted.
album that you can only hear and download there. But then we also got videos on Spotify. We got videos on Spotify, videos on YouTube, and albums on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. You know, the usuals.
Yeah. You look
Where
for
you
the
can
third.
buy stuff. We got albums.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
They got albums. We got vinyls. Chicha Summit. Make sure you check that out. Incredible stuff. Thank you to everybody who donated,
Unbelievable.
who helped
Yeah.
the cause of badass music and, psychedelic cumbia, Chicha, more importantly. Honestly, these guys are the Chicha pioneers. It's
Money. That was money.
It really was, and it was money. I don't think we could have used a better little giant Manziel action, Chicha Manziel.
You guys come back soon, man. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you so much
guys.
for having us,
love
brother.
to,
It
we
sounded
love to.
great.
Thank
It
you,
felt
guys.
great.
Thank
It
you,
was
Beto.
great.
Dude,
Beto, love you so much.
Yeah.
My
brother.
friend.
Beto Martinez, Greg Gonzalez, John
Yes.
Spees, Sweet Lou Holmes, Peter Stopchinski.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you guys, everybody who stuck it out with us. We were partying too hard, too late into the night here on a Thursday. Don't worry. Go. Make sure you check and share the stream with your friends, and make sure you share the music that you heard tonight with your friends and family. And also, if you want to tune in, you know where to find us. We're Twitch, YouTube, and we're always accepting donations. purplebee.org/donate. Help us keep bringing more cool bands here for our signature series, Purple Bee Live. 116 episodes, G. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
Hard to believe.
It is pretty hard to believe, man. And it'd be one thing if it wasn't like, action-packed every single time, but...
Banging, man. With the...
Unbelief.
Oh!
Come
the
on,
buzzer
E.
beater! Rada, thank you so much.
God.
Rada, amazing in so many ways. We hit $1,000. Thank you to everybody who made that possible. Thank you to everybody who purchased a ticket. Thank you to our badass band for providing the sounds for the night.
Lord.
E, you were out there live. Give me your gimbal sideline report.
Money Chicha.
Gimbal was working overtime tonight. Really put the Dutch on it tonight. I want to remind people who don't realize this. We are live. Live is where it's at. We are committed to live music in the truest sense of the word. That's what you saw tonight. But this is also archived on YouTube. When you leave tonight, or if you didn't catch this, share this with your homies. It's on YouTube, the whole show. And we'll start putting up some archival clips, like highlights and things like that over the next few weeks. But don't forget to just watch it back sometimes. If you missed it live, you can go to our YouTube and you can see all this stuff in its full 3 or 4 hour glory.
And what's cool is, Debo's and these guys, they work real hard and they clip up a lot of the content that we do, which is hard because it's literally like 3.5 hours worth of content to clip up. And there's always just so much good stuff from it. As you heard tonight in the sets, exclusive, unreleased music, songs that don't even have names yet. We're over here just in the lab curating, trying to create names for songs, The fact that we can provide the space for artists to do that is awesome. And speaking of, next Wednesday, I think the Grooves are going to make their way back to the lab. Is that right?
Yeah, we're bringing the Groove Lab back next Wednesday night. That's the 6th, I believe, of March. Be here Wednesday night. It's a Groove Lab. It's where we laboratory out. We test our hypotheses on jamming and on live streaming and on interactive content on the internet, and we need you there to help us do it. That means you watching this from home. We need you to tune in and help us steer the jams, and it's a lot of fun. And we're about to announce a sixth South by event here at Purple Bee, and in conjunction with Show Me Pizza, our incredible sponsors who fed the band and the crew and the people in the audience here at Purple Bee tonight. The pizzas were awesome tonight, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out Show Me Pizza.
Show me pizza.
So we're going to be doing a pizza party on the 14th at South by, and the Greyhounds are playing, and Nico Vega, Tiger Cub, a bunch of incredible bands from all over the world are playing, including some of the best bands in Austin. We're going to need you here. Speaking of that, we're also going to be out at the Eclipse Utopia in April, the first weekend of April. When the eclipse happens, this is a big deal. It's the last Utopia event, which is it's kind of hard to imagine that not doing amazing events out there. We've been doing it for 10 or so years now. Purple Bee has its own camp where we do our own late night shows, and we have our own stage, and it's going to be super dope. We're going to go out with a bang. We hope you can join us. If you want to camp with us, you want to volunteer, talk to us, DM us. Rada's actually helping us get the volunteers together. So if you want to camp with Purple Bee at Eclipse Utopia, absolutely magical place, magical weekend, magical time of in eternity. This eclipse coming through this spot on the map is it's something not to be missed. Look into it.
Also, shout out to Real Ale for always keeping it real with PBTV and providing our patrons with nothing but the best. Also, shout out to Guayaki Yerba Mate, keeping us geeked up out here, making sure that we can do all that we do and provide for you.
I had 2 of them tonight.
Man, this guy, look at, he's crazy. Grego, this man, he's off his rocker. Abstract, always bringing you the visual, tasty, the tasty viz. Him and Nikki together.
Yes, Nikki,
Pippin and Jordan
directing the show. Thank you so much. Look beautiful.
Shout out to Austin 101 as well. Jeff Holland, Lime Creek Road. We love that.
Devo's lights.
Oh yeah.
Everything else. What a crew.
Devo's, man.
Ram Cam.
At Ram Cam, dude. Nolan was out there.
Nolan. Ebo's on the gimbal.
On the gimbal.
Wow.
It was
Mama Chicha.
Money Chicha.
Ripped some ass. We raised the roof. I think the roof is 3 feet higher than it was when we started.
That's a lot. That's quite a bit. That's some growth.
It looks higher, man. We're raising the roof here.
We're averaging a foot an hour. Unreal stuff. G, I think it's time for you to blow some kisses. What do you say?
Man, Super Phonico is playing
over at Sea Boys. Check them out.
Out music. You've been hearing in the break and stuff.
Hey, we're gonna be doing a show,
guys.
2 shows with Super Phonico's frontman Jaime.
That's right, Jaime.
Here in April, so stay tuned for that. A lot of the people you saw playing tonight will be involved with that project, and they're actually recording a record at Beto's studio. They're gonna come in here and do a little preview for you guys at Purple Bee. It's gonna be an amazing Cumbia summit, if you will.
Yeah, Cumbia, man.
Yeah. Look out.
What a music. What a grooves, man. We love Cumbia at Purple Bee. Oh. Thank you so much for watching Purple Bee TV and all your donation and support. Love you so much. Dziękujemy za obejrzenie all over the world. We love you so much.
Blow the kiss.
En lo profundo